I've been using the Sony APSC cameras for a couple of years now, and one of the things that I don't like about them is the wretched Micro-HDMI port. It's a tiny port that is easy to break and will cost a lot to send it to Sony and get it fixed. So in this video, I'll be talking about the little accessory that you can buy to protect the Micro-HDMI port in your camera. Let's get into it. Cameras with Micro-HDMI ports are a pain to work with. You cannot just use your normal size HDMI cables to connect to them. You need to buy additional cables or adapters. Maybe I understand why Sony uses the Micro-HDMI ports in these APS-C cameras, because the cameras themselves are so small that it might be a little bit tricky to put the full-size HDMI ports. Now, I looked at Micro-HDMI adapters on Amazon and found this from SmallRig, an adapter that allows you to use the HDMI cables that you already have. It comes with two 1/4-20-inch threads, so if you use a camera cage, you can attach this to the cage, preventing any stress on the Micro-HDMI port. So if you yank the cable, it won't break the port and will save you money in the long run. Now, it does support the HDMI 2.0 spec, so you can expect 4K 60 FPS out of these. This is the Micro-HDMI port. Look how small it is. And if I put the normal cable, the normal HDMI to Micro-HDMI cable, look how easy it is to just yank it out. I mean, if there's any pressure applied on the cable, that pressure goes straight into the port, which makes it a lot scary and expensive. Now, this is what the SmallRig adapter looks like from HDMI to Micro-HDMI. Now, as you can see, it has two thread through screws as well. That is to mount these this adapter onto the cage. Now let's mount it on the cage. Now I'm using the Sony ZV-E10, and the cage that I bought is also from SmallRig. And this is what it looks like with the HDMI to Micro-HDMI adapter plugged into the camera. And it is pretty sturdy. I've tightened up the screws. It looks kind of neat as well. It looks like now you have the full size HDMI port available for you to use with your own cameras. And this is what it looks like with a full size HDMI cable. Like if I try to yank it, it will not apply any pressure on the port, but rather onto the camera. So as long as the camera is stable, it's on a tripod, it should be okay. So in conclusion, if you have a camera with a Micro-HDMI port and if you want to protect it, I will highly recommend using one of these. Now, also, this video is not sponsored and I've purchased the cameras and adapters myself. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about it or have any topics to suggest for me to make a video on. Until next time, cheers.